Rob Utter, living with epilepsy. First of all, I want to wish everybody a happy belated Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Second, my wife published her book. It's called Paradoxical Enigma. I edited it. I did a very poor job. I'm just joking. Uh, but the link is in the comments. Please buy a copy of it because I'm on disability. Now, my wife has a story to tell, but I will let my wife tell that.
Okay. Also, I'm gonna post our son's book. He published a book when he was 7. I'm gonna post that link in the comments too. But anyway, so I published this book in 2016, and then it sucked. I realized it sucked, so I took it down in 2020 or 2019 and rewrote it. At least he stopped that. And so anyway, it's good now. But it's a serial killer novel with killer clowns. So if you don't like clowns, buy it for someone else. Um, but it's a serial killer novel that is also laugh out loud funny in between horrific murders. Uh, so anyway, for those of you who thanks a lot, Alicia. For those who don't realize, Scream was actually written as a horror comedy. So anyway, but please do buy it. Um, my story is thanks a lot again. Alicia's trying to steal the show. Anyway, the story is that all those years ago I published that book, and obviously it didn't sell well at first because it sucked. And then I rewrote it, and then last year we had a tragedy, so I took it down and added something, a few parts into it in memory of that tragedy. And now there's a fly on your head, Rob. But so I'm in SRP the other day, and there was an old lady. We're gonna call her Karen. That wasn't her name. I'm not gonna say her name because I'm not here to blast. But Karen, a Karen was sitting there reading a Stephen King novel. SRP is our local credit union, and they were packed that day because everybody cashing their checks. It was one of those Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, you can call it a credit union.
Yeah. Anyway, so she had been sitting there for a while, and I came and sat down also. Alicia, please go back in there. And SRP, I was in the SRP. She was reading her Stephen King novel. She made a comment to me that that she had been sitting there for a while. And I got to talking to her, and I mentioned that I mentioned to her that I published a book of my own, a mystery thriller. Well, anyway, she was an old lady, so she got to asking me, 50 million questions like old ladies do. Really nosy, but, I'm used to old ladies being like that. So I went ahead and answered them, and then she says, well, what kind of house did you grow up in? I told her a trailer. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, she goes, I won't be buying your book because I'm not going to spend my good money to get you rich. And you need to get there on your own. So anyway, I turned around and posted my experience in a Facebook group, naturally, because that's the norm now. And needless to say, my book sold 25 copies that day, at least. Alicia, stop! Anyway, so, anyway, back to you, Rob.
Well, I have been having a battle with mental health, and every mental health facility I have been going to has been turning me away despite having being suicidal. And that is being very bad.
Anyway, but the thing is, because of his brain injury and his seizures, he's technically supposed to go see a neuropsychiatrist and go to a neuropsychiatric unit. Okay, but South Carolina's very backwoods and,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
redneck.
South
So they don't.
Carolina.
They're too stupid to have that here.
The state of South Carolina does not have a neuropsychiatric unit and does not have any neuropsychiatric doctors.
No, they have neuropsychiatric doctors, but they're like booked out the yin yang. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
um, so
But the only places I can go are out of state, and they don't take any other patients out of state
uh,
unless you live there.
yeah, and so anyway, with knowing this, the current psychiatric hospitals in South Carolina turn him away, despite him being suicidal. So that's medical negligence at best. Okay, back to you, Rob.
So let's see. Special shout out to Jeff Alterman for being an awesome fan. We love you. The end.
This has been Rob Utter, living with epilepsy.
This is the end. Rob Utter, living with epilepsy. Wish everybody a good night or a good morning. I love y'all.